Going into a business venture with your best friend is really dangerous. It comes with so much baggage.
God, I'd hate to lose Lauren. I've seen other people do that and it's failed terribly, and they've lost a really good friend as well.
I had known about Lucinda's work for a long time. I looked at her LinkedIn profile to try and emulate her career. I don't know if she knows this. It's funny to look back on now because we've only been working together for 2 years.
Yeah, I know, crazy.
I was blown away by how much faith Lucinda had in me from the beginning.
I've never found it so easy to work with anyone as Jess. I think in some ways we tend to think the same way about solving problems, but also add our own different strengths and weaknesses around that.
Adam is someone who, when you meet him, you just want to suck his brain for experience and information and advice. It sounds really bad, it's very dangerous.
I'm a huge believer in diversity breeds high performance teams. 2 or 3 people, if you have different thinking styles, often leads to better decision making because you're coming at that decision from different points of view. I'm going to do a really fast round the room just so I've got a sense of who's on what startup.
I'm Jessica Christensen, Frank's co-founder of Neighbourlytics, which is a social analytics platform for neighbourhood development.
I'm Lauren Meyer from SharkShare/Otlet, and we run a tissue sharing database for research scientists.
I'm Maddie Green, also from SharkShare Otlet, so see that description. Yeah.
We've worked like this out of different cities for a really long time now.
For days at a time, I'm out on a research boat without internet access, without phone access, so it becomes, I'm sorry, Maddie.
Maybe she doesn't recognise, but when she gets back from being out in the field, it's like she's had her battery charged, and then it probably pushes us to work harder.
We would not be here without each other. There's no way, not alone.
A best friend and a business partner all in one. I mean, it feels like we're getting into a marriage together. She's just the best thing and she doesn't even realise. Oh, I didn't think I'd cry. Yeah, this is like super special and she's just, I'm so grateful for her.
As someone who's been grappling with that process of being a solo founder, where is your head at the moment?
I guess trying, really, like I'd love your advice as well, trying to decide whether finding a co-founder is something that I should do. And since getting into SheStarts, I've been wondering whether I need one or not. Looking for in a co-founder just that complete honesty that you love that person, you support them, because it is, you've heard like a million times, it's like a marriage.
God, I'm so excited. So we'll both be in Melbourne and it has been 9 months since we've seen each other. This whole SheStarts program has happened around us.
I mean, starting a business is tough, and if you have a relationship with the business and you have a relationship with the other people, and any relationship has a core set of values, it typically has a direction, it's got a path, and it gets tested along the way.
We're both naturally overcommitters and we're both inclined to say, yeah, let's do this and this and this. But now that we're actually in the delivery, we need to park the cheer squad and actually say, okay, you're good at this, I'm good at this, let's have a real conversation.
When you're a solo founder building a business by yourself, typically you can move faster, there's less time in discussion, everybody wants to sit down and discuss for a long time, it's hard to know who's got clear decision making. Sometimes relationships don't work out.
I would be apprehensive that I put a lot of trust or faith in that person and then something happens and we're not aligned, and I think that's when not only feelings are hurt but also problems with the company arise.
Someone has to be competent in the skill sets that are necessary to bring to the table. You want someone who really can add heaps of value to the business model and how you validate it. So it's not just enough to trust someone, they've also got to be super confident in the kind of business you're trying to build.
There are certain things that I go, Maddie, you are going to do this beautifully in a way and with a vision that I just don't have.
I can be quite emotional, like I'm the crier of the group. How the do we talk? Oh, I'm sorry. How do we talk to every researcher?
That's the part I'm
animal?
concerned about.
So whereas if we need something technical written on the website, Lauren's very quick at being like, this, and stats, and so.
We need to
have someone like actually assess the code that we have and see whether or not it's whether or not we can build on it or whether or not it's like a ground up rebuild. So when we look at it, it's really easy to go, well, Maddie has these great skill sets and I have complementary skill sets.
You can take some of the features and move them, but it's always going to be a ground up build.
As I'm a designer, so I'm not technical, should I be looking for a technical co-founder? With any other discipline really, they bring so much more perspective because they can see the project through different eyes. They can see, you know, other possibilities that I just can't see. So I've limited myself in that sense.
The question you've got to ask is, what do I need? And what is propelling you? And understand that question first.
I haven't actually asked myself why, and as soon as you said that, I was like, am I just doing this because I've been told to?
And when you start working as well with the product team today, and suddenly you have all these other brains, you're going to be like, wow, I have this incredible team. Absolutely, there may be a point where you go, still, next week, I found this person, they want to come on board, I'm bringing them in as a co-founder.
Yeah.
Yes, fantastic, but don't do it for the wrong reasons.
Alignment on values is the most fundamental thing to having a core, strong strategy that everybody gets behind and can make fast progress against. What you want your company to look like in the future and what kind of a world you believe in and you want to contribute to.
I just reached a point where I can now start working with the product team, tech team and designers to start physically putting the product or the solution together. I've gone from being sort of a person of one to now have a team of 7, perhaps a co-founder can become leader.
If you don't have alignment on values, you'll quickly find that you won't find alignment on strategy and the business is going to go in different directions or even worse, a confused direction and then therefore nowhere at all.
During a bit of a post-it note whiteboard session, I got Lauren to write down, like if you had like an overarching, like huge mission, what would it be? And I want you to write it down and then I'm gonna write down mine without telling. Do you remember what you said?
Well, what was yours about? What was yours about? You say it first.
It's so cute when I checked them. Honestly, it's so nice. So mine, I just want to help manage and conserve all species globally.
Mine was just along the lines of I want to help all organisms, so all different animals, all different plants.
And it's like these 2 little post-it notes and I'm gonna get them framed. I'm so excited.
And Maddie and I have those same inherent values. All of those decisions that get there, it doesn't matter if I make them or Maddie makes them. They're both in line with our vision. It's constant, really productive communication where we check in and we go, okay, great, we're both really on the same page.
Usually on average will be 3 phone calls a day.
At least 3 times a day, probably every day.
How's everything going? Good? Oh, good. Good? Good, yep, got that done. Yeah, got that done, okay. Okay, I don't think we really need to talk. And Lauren's like, I don't think so either, but I'm glad you called, you know?
And if I don't call Maddie one day, I feel really weird and like disconnected with the world. And then we'll also text all the time. So it's just constant communication.
And part of our conversation around communication is that we're going to have to be brutally honest with each other because you can't have this much going on and have a working relationship with someone if you can't be candid about how you feel.
And there have been a couple of times where one of us has cracked it in like Messenger. Well, I have a note about it. Well, yeah, well, blah, blah, blah. And we just had this conversation with PK. We got our butt kicked for not being where we need to be. And I had the to-do list and I was ready to sit down and say, this is the Gantt chart for how we get it done. His question wasn't that, it was, what's the chemistry between you as co-founders? Because that's how it's gonna happen. That's how you're gonna get there.
I'm someone who likes to start things and not so good at finishing.
She is amazing at coming up with incredible ideas, and I'll sit down and do a brainstorm myself and go, yeah, I've nailed this, and I show it to her, and with halfway through my first sentence she'll go, yeah, and this, and she's already like a stratospheric idea beyond where I was at.
Are we solving the problem for Australian cities? Are we solving the problem for every city in the world?
We joke about her idea bombs. Like, here's another one, guys, catch it. And we're like, where's it coming from? What's it gonna be?
We could actually create something that solves a global urban problem.
But there comes a point, and this is where we're at right now, where we now need to do it. And so no more idea bombs. Let's just actually figure out how to take them and turn them into like focus right now.
When we're thinking about the only way that we're really going to get this done is focus, and we've been trying to both do both, and that's made it hard to focus. So I think the position that we've come to is that I need to lead in our existing business and Jess needs to lead on Neighbourlytics, but we will both support each other in those roles.
I'm really worried about being the one leading Neighbourlytics because I think Lucinda would be naturally better at it.
And today, we've been doing hump day pitch practice for 8 weeks now. And today we get to put on a different show because there are people outside of the room.
I guess, her ideas have been my safety net before. Being able to step out, from her leadership and have to lead myself is really scary. And the people around me have been telling me to do it and that I can do it. And only very recently have I gone, okay, I'm gonna do it.
Anything can happen. Anything's possible when Jess gets up the pitch.
I guess it's not up. So Neighbourlytics is a social analytics platform that's used for neighbourhood development. And what we're doing is drawing nuanced, dynamic, granular insights about the local community identity so property developers can make better decisions about the neighbourhoods we all live in.
Amazing.
It doesn't mean that it's easy just because we've figured it out. Work is only starting, and I don't mean the amount of hours it's going to take, I mean they're getting it right. So I feel like I want to vomit.
What happens if this doesn't work?
It's a really terrifying thought. Like, it really, really scares me. But we don't know until we put it out there.
There's never been like, I just want to quit and not do this anymore. It's just like, how are we going to keep going? If you're disheartened by that enough to quit, then I think you're not meant to be here.
More garbage.
And I was thinking, God, maybe I know nothing at all.
You have to get over the fear of getting rejected.
We got so many no's.
You fall down, you get up again. You only really fail when you give up.
If you're looking at statistics of startups, you would be depressed every day.